Watch me ride.
Hey everybody, I am down at Haslemere Motorcycles and today I get to take out the brand new Suzuki DL800DE. This is the new parallel twin V-Strom. So my plan is this: I'm going to jump on it on the motorway and head down to a nice area to take a look at the bike, and we'll know what it's like on the motorway there, and then we'll head into the country roads and just see what it's like. This should be a lot of fun because this is my sort of bike. Well, as I suspected instantly, this is definitely my sort of bike. It's nice and tall, it's nice and big. I am 6'4", so I find big adventure bikes kind of feel like what bikes should feel like. One of the things that stands out the most immediately between this and the old V-Stroms is the smoothness of this thing. This engine is so much smoother. The old Vs were nice, I'm not saying they weren't, but Vs come with a little bit of a thump and they tend to deliver their power in a more lumpy way. Obviously this, with its parallel twin, 270-degree firing order and the balancing system they put on those, it's meant that this is way smoother, and for me that makes a bike feel more premium. Okay, so 70 miles an hour, 6th gear is 5,000 RPM, very smooth, very comfy, ride is nice. Yeah, I could do this all day, and that's exactly what you want to feel like on an adventure when you get on the motorway. Just want to adjust the traction control. Can I? There we go. Here we go. Slow down, mate. Slow down. You're about to hit a speed camera at a stupid speed. That was quick. On the motorway, absolute beast at crunching miles. Very comfy. Ergonomics are absolutely great. Nice and set up right. Commanding road position. Nothing to complain about. I have unfortunately seen a couple of reviews on, well, not reviews as such, but a little blurb about this bike beforehand of doing the review, and I try to avoid that, to not listen to stuff that people just spout. One of the things I've seen someone suggest is that this bike has bar vibrations at 70 miles an hour. Well, in the sense that you're moving and you can feel an engine, yes, but someone complaining about the vibrations at 70 miles an hour when this used to be a V-twin that was like brrr, it's just, I don't get where they come from. It just seems so Princess and the Pea. Oh, the vibrations at 70, my poor little fingers. Of course, this has got a bi-directional quick shifter, just like the new Dash 8. It's great. It can be a little clunky at slower speeds, but just banging up through the box, it's fine. I may still use the clutch half the time because, as I've mentioned before, I just like riding the bike and using the clutch. I don't need quick shifters. Dog activity course. Could a DL do a dog activity course? Okay, so the controls. Obviously, clutch, standard clutch, no adjustment. High beam, low beam, pass light combined. You've got your modes button, which I'll get into in a moment, and your up and down indicators, throttle, start, stop, kill, and your hazards. That's it for that side. On the display, you've got your revs around one side, speed in the middle, gear position here. Traction control comes in 3 levels, 4 levels even, off, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to have it in 1. You've then basically got the power mode system, which comes in A, B, and C. And then the last one on this one is you can change the ABS. Now, ABS 2 is what you'd want for the road, and ABS 1, which I can't change currently, probably because of something. Oh, because I'm in gear. I bet that's what it is. Oh, I don't know how you change that, but you can change the ABS to 1, which is minimal intrusion. But you can't switch it off, as far as I know. And we got the mileage down here, temperature, air temperature, voltage of the bike, and everything else you'd need to know. It is quite a small little screen for the size of the bezel, but it's perfectly readable and perfectly clear. So as I say, I've ridden the V-Strom 650 and the 1050, and a couple of different models of that one in fact, but I've also been lucky enough to ride and make a video on the original Suzuki DR800, the largest single-cylinder production bike that ever existed. It is an absolute beast, and it had a very similar look to this. So let's have a quick look from front to back. So you've got LED lights up on the front, LED indicators. Are they actually LED? They are. That's interesting because they didn't put LED indicators on the new Suzuki. They've got bulbs in them, which is an odd choice. I believe these to be Showa forks. They are adjustable by their top adjusters. Big set of brakes on the front, big brakes on the back. Adjustable preload shock control here, which is good because obviously if you're taking people on the back, you're going to want to be able to easily adjust the rear shock. And obviously you've got the big luggage rack on the back that you can get luggage and accessories for. Suzuki have got a ton of extra kit that you can put on this to turn it into whatever sort of touring or off-road machine that you want to use. But yeah, I think it's very much in line with what the V-Strom tends to look like, with a throwback to the old DR800. I think it's a good looking bike. These mirrors take some serious welly to adjust them. They're very much stuck in place, which is great because obviously if you take this off-road, you don't want your mirrors jumping around all the time. Crikey. Now, this is very pleasant, isn't it? If you enjoy the video, by the way, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new here, and if you want to help support this channel, please consider doing that through Patreon or one of the other methods. Links are all in the description below the video to show you how you can do that. So finally I'm on the country roads. As far as motorways are concerned, this is a mile-munching weapon of comfort. So all I can say. And I definitely think that this engine is an improvement over the old V-twins, just because of the ride feel. It's just so much smoother and nicer. This doesn't feel like a big heavy bike at all when you're in the seat. You know, everything's balanced nicely. Throttle's light, the clutch is light, and the steering has been... You got these massive bars for a start that gives you so much leverage over the front wheel that it just makes things a lot easier. But it doesn't feel heavy. It just feels like an adventure that's very maneuverable. Yeah, I much prefer using the clutch. Then the quick shifter is just smooths it out a little bit more, I think. This is an off-road bike, right? Don't kill me, Mark. It's what it's made for. The thing is, this is such a off-road orientated bike. More than the old days. Apparently, Suzuki actually put a lot more R&D into the suspension on this to make it more off-road orientated, whereas in the old V-Strom was definitely more road orientated. Ow! I don't remember this lane being this long. Okay, well that wasn't a real off-road test, but it was the closest I could get, and well, I didn't drop it, right? This is a fun bike. I'm really enjoying this. Ah, watch out, little birdies. I mean, anyway, as I've said, this is much more my sort of size bike. I fit on this. I feel like, because with a lot of bikes I'm sat on them and I'm like, I just don't really feel like I was who they intended to be on this bike. But with this, I feel like I was intended to be here. Jesus. It is amazing how quick this thing feels, considering it's got a sub 800cc engine and it's a big bike. And I'm not even really ragging on it, but it doesn't need it, it's got the torque. It suddenly dawned on me, this bike has not got cruise control or heated grips. There are a couple of things you might expect to see on an adventure tourer sort of bike like this, but I don't really like cruise control, I'll be honest with you. And the throttle on this is light, so it's not like you're having to actually like strain your wrist holding against the spring force of it. It's so light, your hand being placed there is enough to keep it still. I have to say that it is, again, the thing that's standing out at me here is how pillowy smooth this engine is. I think this engine's going to go down as being an absolute great for Suzuki. I thought I should bring it down to a city to see what it's like in traffic before we head to the country roads, because that's an important side of this. I mean, I don't know who's buying this bike. It could be a proper adventure bike for actual adventuring. It could be a great commuter. It could be, you know, you're a big guy and you just want a big comfortable bike. You can stick someone on the back and go and get fish and chips 400 miles away. I think it does all of it. The seat is nice and big and wide and comfy. I don't feel any discomfort with that at all. Turns nicely too, that's another thing. And it doesn't feel like it's got an absolutely ginormous front wheel on it, being a 21 inch. I think you can tell that it's not like a 17, but it doesn't have any of that sort of floppiness that you get from, well, particularly if you've got off-road tyres, because when you get the 21 inch rim and then you've got some knobbles on it, you tend to get this point in the turn where it sort of steps between those knobbles and it can feel a little bit odd. But this road tyres, the way they've got it set up, feels great. Back to the sort of suspension and ride for the road. I didn't do enough off-roading to know what that was like. That wasn't real off-roading, but it was, you know, it dealt with it. It's got a bit of squish to it, you know, so it does take out the big bumps. It's got a good firmness to it as well, so you can get some good road feedback. It's basically, the thing is, this bike is just feeling good. In everything it's doing, it just feels good. It feels accomplished. Like they've actually tried to make a good bike. I do feel like some people need to remember that amber is get ready to go and green is go. Right, down the country roads, we're going to have a bit of fun down here. Well, try. This is very easy to ride, I will say. For a big adventure bike, it doesn't feel like it. It's got tons of power. It feels agile. It feels fine, which is, I guess, something you really want out of a bike like this. And it's something that I really like about this over some of the bigger adventure bikes. You know, when you're getting up to like 1200 and they've got much bigger tanks and lots more fairing, it suddenly feels like just a bit much. You can ride it fine, but there's something a bit more fun about this, and the longer I'm on it, the more confident I'm getting with it. I must remember to stop somewhere so I can take some pictures of this bike. I'm just having too much fun right now. Okay, this is it, on bumpy roads. You do feel like you're kind of wee a little bit. Maybe I should firm up the rear. Nah, I'm not going to mess with it. Brakes are immense, feel great, very confidence inspiring that you can just go a little quicker and know you're going to stop a little quicker. Of course, that doesn't mean the other person is, so it's only so far you can go with that. The torque of this thing from absolutely nothing is one of the most impressive things about it. It just feels like you're getting rocketed up the arse, but not like you've been punched. It's just push, continuous push. Why are flies trying to get in my mouth? Oh, I guess that got crashed. Where are you going? You're going this way, you're going that way. You don't even know where you're going. Not sitting behind you. Oh, now there's a massive bump through here. How's it going to take it on this bike? Fine. I've nearly lost vertebrae on other bikes before going over that. Yeah, handling, road feel, brakes, just pretty much everything. Very, very nice. Doesn't feel like the big adventure bike that it did to start with. This is a very pleasant, fun, calm bike to ride, which has definitely got a much lairier side to it. It's absolutely great. I'm really enjoying this. This is, you know, this is close to the sort of bike that I would need as my... If I was to have one bike, just one, I think it would have to be something like this. And I've previously said that the Triumph 1200 Scrambler was a bike that really sort of hit close to what I would have liked out of a single bike. And no, this has beaten that. Oh god, I still haven't stopped to take pictures anywhere. You fool. I'm having too much fun. The roll-on grunt this thing has got is nuts. It's great. Yeah, this road is absolutely hacked to pieces. You can see all the repair marks all over it, and they can properly get like bumpy over that, but this bike is softening that all out quite amazingly well. What about the big bump here? Not too bad. Okay, well I'm back at Haslemere Motorcycles. I had a couple of microphone problems, so hopefully I haven't lost too much of today's video. But to give a conclusion, the Suzuki DL800DE. I love it. It is an absolutely fantastic all-rounder sort of adventure bike. It's not too big, but it can munch the motorway miles. It's not too powerful, but it's powerful enough. It's the perfect mix that I was wanting in the past. And I think putting the parallel twin in this was a stroke of genius. As much as the V engines are nice, the smoothness of this, the lack of the brrr from it is just so much more pleasant. It's agile in the country roads. It's a proper laugh. It's a really, really good bike. I don't really have anything to complain about on it. Obviously it comes with extra things like charging ports and all those bits and pieces. I've not gone and covered every single fact and figure out the booklet because I know if you're after an adventure bike, you're going to do your research anyway. This is a very strong contender and I think you should not overlook it. If you're looking in the market for something like this, check one out. And equally, if you're looking for just an everyday bike that can basically do anything, or you take pillions a lot, definitely a good machine for that job. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. If you've got any questions or anything I didn't answer that you wanted to know, please pop your comments below and I'll do my best to answer those. And if you want to help support this channel, it's what makes this channel possible, then please consider joining my Patreon or supporting the channel through one of the ways that's linked in the description below the video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.